What's happening, ladies and gentlemen of FudgeMuppet? My name is Michael, and today I'm taking you through our latest Skyrim build, the Glass Warrior. The Glass Warrior has a backstory we're sure you'll all enjoy, and yes, he does have something to do with the mysterious Ebony warrior you fight after you've maxed out your character. I'd also like to refer you to our latest Star Wars lore video if you're interested, which is all about the Jedi. The link is in the description, so check it out, but anyways, the Glass Warrior. Here we go. The Glass Warrior originates from Hammerfell within the town of Dragonstar. He grew up with his brother and father, and his father was a powerful warrior who had been all over Tamriel, doing good deeds and completing quests. His two sons were brought up with the values of a fighter, and the eldest son was much taller and stronger than his younger sibling. He was only a year older, but at a young age his height made him look much more grown up. The younger sibling, the Glass Warrior, was always smaller and weaker. He wasn't even as quick as his older brother, but throughout his childhood and teenage years, he remained as competitive as ever. The older brother despised his sibling, calling him pathetic and a weakling. It also didn't help that the mother of the family had passed away during the birth of the Glass Warrior. The eldest sibling was better than the Glass Warrior at almost everything really, and the Glass Warrior forever lived in his shadow. Growing up, the Glass Warrior would always train with his brother and found that the only way to hold his ground was being faster. Now, because he wasn't actually physically faster, he would wear light armor while his brother wore heavy armor. He quite liked the lighter armors and never really had the strength to wear the heavy duty gear for long. When the Glass Warrior was 14, his brother was out training in the wilderness, and during this time, a group of thugs decided to invade the Redguard's family home. The father had a nice house, and he had sold quite the amount of loot during his adventuring days. The thugs just wanted his weapons and smaller pricey valuables that would be easy to carry. The thugs broke in, and the Redguard father, while quite old, still put up a hell of a fight. The Glass Warrior joined the battle, but against a group of 5 large men who had the element of surprise on their side, the two stood no chance. The Glass Warrior was smashed aside by the handle of a battle axe, and as he connected with a bookcase, he blacked out. He woke to his house in a complete mess, but worse than that, his father was dead. As he went to approach his father's recently deceased body, his older brother walked in and was absolutely furious. He told the Glass Warrior he was a failure and that he was going to leave him here and start a new life, becoming the most famous warrior who would not let any tragedies like this ever happen again. He lashed out at him violently, and the two had an unarmed battle, but it was the older brother who, as expected, won. It also didn't help that the Glass Warrior had already been knocked out, and yet again his vision faded to black. He woke in the house again and began to cry. He called the authorities from the town to help clean up the mess and the remains of his father. He then lived in the house, haunted by the memories of his family that were now gone, until eventually he hit adulthood and decided to leave. The Glass Warrior traveled to Cyrodiil looking for work, but to no avail. Hearing of the civil war in Skyrim, he headed north to find work there. He thought it would be abundant. Crossing the border, he was caught and taken to Helgen, where he later escapes and discovers he is Dragonborn. The Glass Warrior decides to take on a goal very similar to that of his brother. He travels around Skyrim and of course completes the main storyline to master his skills as a warrior and help people in need. He will do the Civil War questline, choosing the side of whoever makes the best case, and will also do the companion storyline to seek out honor. We've chosen to cure our lycanthropy, but you don't have to. You'll also want to side with the Dawnguard during the Dawnguard DLC and complete all their missions. Additionally, be sure to head over to Solstheim and defeat Miraak, continuing to master the Thum as you progress. You could even do the College of Winterhold to master enchanting and also help more people and gain more experience. You'll also want to do as many side quests as you can, as long as they are not morally questionable. The Glass Warrior over time will become a master of many skills, until eventually he meets his brother again. If you haven't guessed it by now, his brother is the one and only Ebony Warrior. When meeting his brother, the Ebony Warrior will respect him more than previously, and they make the unanimous decision that there can only be one. The Ebony Warrior has been watching his younger brother progress and has known of his Dragonborn ability. Because of this, the Ebony Warrior sought out Ulfric Stormcloak, who taught him some knowledge of the voice. With the Glass Warrior going up the mountain to defeat his brother and settle their rivalry once and for all, the one who triumphs is left in your hands. Looking at the gear for the Glass Warrior, as you can see, he's gonna have his full set of glass armor, a glass sword and shield, and a glass bow and glass arrows. This is of course his choice of gear, which he uses for the entire game once he can get it. As you know, he feels very comfortable in light armor and using lighter gear. Your skills are going to be archery, one-handed, light armor, smithing, block, and enchanting. And you're going to have a lot of perks in these skills because the build is essentially designed for an endgame character. You're going to need to master these skills before you fulfill your destiny in the battle against the Ebony Warrior. Archery will be for your bow of course, especially so you can slow down time to pick your shots, and block will be for shield charging, bashing, and overall protecting yourself when you're not agile enough to avoid arrows and slashes. One-handed will be your main combat skill and will be used to cut down anyone who opposes you, and light armor will be used to make you agile and actually able to reflect damage from enemy strikes. Smithing will be used to majorly upgrade all of your gear, and finally enchanting will be used to create very similar enchantments to that of the Ebony Warrior. You will also wear an enchanted ring and necklace of your choice, and I recommend going with gold to fit the color scheme. A gold and emerald ring would fit the Glass Warrior quite well. Looking at your enchantments, here's what we've come up with to sort of mirror the Ebony Warrior's choices, but yours will be even better. On your glass sword, you're going to have absorb health, but also absorb stamina. On your glass bow, you're going to have frost damage, but also shock damage. On your glass armor, you're going to have health regeneration, and also stamina regeneration. On your glass helmet, you're going to have water breathing, and fortify archery. On your gauntlets, you're going to have fortify one-handed, and fortify archery again. And on your boots, you're going to have frost resistance, and again, fortify one-handed. On your glass shield, you're going to have fire resistance and also resist magic. And on your ring, you're going to have fortify one-handed again and fortify archery again. On your necklace, you're going to have shock resistance and fortify light armor. Also, looking at skills, while it doesn't have a skill tree, you're going to want to master shouts. The Ebony Warrior has also learnt shouts, as you know, and the Glass Warrior will want to be able to compete with his Thumb ability. Try to get all 3 words of every shout before you fight him. I'll leave a perk link in the description, and while you're there, be sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. The playstyle for the Glass Warrior is like a mix between a battlefield archer and a frontline soldier. If you can use your bow from afar, then you will pick off as many enemies as you can until you get in close enough to start shield charging in, and then you want to slash and stab until you're the only one remaining. Shouts will be used throughout all of this, and the Glass Warrior really likes using the Storm Call shout, Unrelenting Force, the Slow Time shout, and Whirlwind Sprint. Remember with your bow that you're not a stealthy character, so you will act very much like a soldier on a flat plane with a bow would. While shield charging is really fun, sometimes you will just take the conservative approach to save stamina, so that once you get in nice and close, you can bash and power attack one after the other as a combo. The stat spread for the Glass Warrior is 60% health and 40% stamina. You're going to need to have a solid amount of health to be hardy enough to survive the most intense battles, and 40% stamina will be plenty to sprint around, slow time, and aim with your bow. The nice amount of stamina will also be used to shield charge enemies that try to block your path or just need to be knocked off a fort or straight to the ground. For a standing stone, we're going to be using undoubtedly the best stone for this build, the Lord Stone, for 50 more points of armor rating and a 25% resistance to magic. This is just going to make the build even harder to kill and make life a lot easier maxing out the build. And that wraps up this week's Skyrim build, the Mighty Glass Warrior. Please do comment your thoughts below on this build and its backstory, and subscribe for more Skyrim. Thanks heaps for tuning in this week, and thank you for all the love and comments, and also for supporting us in all our videos we're making. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to hit the like button, and I look forward to seeing you all soon, ready to nerd out with some more Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and also Star Wars lore.